Kristen McLean fell from the hoist of one of Starflight's medical helicopters during a rescue last night.
Death can be sudden, tragic, and sometimes downright bizarre. Imagine being sucked into an MRI machine by sheer magnetic force, or falling into an industrial meat blender with no way out, or falling to death while rescuing people.
This is a really good example that real dangers exist in the workplace in Oregon.
These are not horror movie plots. They're real-life tragedies that ended in the most gruesome ways imaginable. Brace yourself as we dive into some of the worst and most shocking ways people have died. Part 10. Hospitals are meant to save lives, but for Rajesh Marutimaru, a routine MRI visit turned deadly. On January 27, 2018, the 32-year-old entered Mumbai's Nair hospital, carrying an oxygen cylinder for his mother-in-law. A staff member assured him, "It's fine, we do this every day." It was a fatal lie. The MRI's 1.5 Tesla magnet, 30,000 times Earth's pull, snatched the metal cylinder, crushing Rajesh's hand and rupturing the tank. Pure oxygen flooded his lungs, causing a rapid collapse. CCTV footage later exposed shocking negligence. Untrained staff, 4 relatives inside the room, and active machinery near metal. 2 doctors and hospital staff were arrested but later released. The government paid 5 lakh rupees in compensation, but the Bombay High Court ordered an additional 10 lakh rupees, calling his death 100% preventable. Rajesh's severed finger became a grim symbol of systemic failure. In India's overcrowded hospitals, a single safety check could have saved him, but carelessness cost him his life. The death of Hugo Avalos Shannon is more than just a gruesome tragedy. It's a stark reminder of what happens when safety is overlooked. Let me tell you what happened. On April 26, 2013, the 41-year-old sanitation worker was cleaning a massive meat blender at Interstate Meat Distributors in Oregon when disaster struck. The machine was still running. In an instant, Avalos Shannon lost his footing and fell in. Co-workers hit the emergency stop, but it was too late. His body was crushed by the grinding machinery. Firefighters spent hours dismantling the equipment to recover his remains. Oregon OSHA later revealed that his employer, DCS Sanitation, had failed to train workers on proper lockout procedures, resulting in just a $6,300 fine.
This is a really good example that real dangers exist in the workplace in Oregon.
Interstate, meanwhile, had a history of violations, including unguarded saws and an E. coli outbreak. Yet, only a minor penalty stuck. His family sued for $5 million, but the real injustice? Just days after his death, OSHA called for better protections for temp workers. 11 years later, his story remains a chilling warning of what happens when safety takes a backseat to profit. Robert Castorina knew shipping containers better than most. The 51-year-old Long Beach longshoreman ended every shift the same way, pedaling home along Santa Fe Avenue. But on October 27, 2015, that routine turned tragic. As Castorina rode past a Carson Railroad bridge, a Utah-based big rig misjudged the 14-foot-5 clearance. The truck's 40,000-pound container clipped the overpass, shearing its straps. It crushed Castorina instantly, a man who'd spent decades avoiding these very hazards at the port of Long Beach. Investigators found the driver, Wesley Blake, admitted he'd underestimated the load's height. His employer, Western Pride Incure, faced scrutiny for using flatbeds with straps instead of secure chassis. The irony cut deeper. Another container had fallen at the same bridge just 24 hours earlier. This wasn't a random misfortune. A port trucker strike had pushed companies to hire cheaper, less experienced drivers paid by the load, incentivizing reckless shortcuts. Blake eventually faced vehicular manslaughter charges, pleading not guilty. But for Castorina's colleagues, the lesson rang clear. Corporate greed turned a routine commute into an industrial execution. On April 27, 2015, a nighttime aerial rescue turned tragic when Texas flight nurse Kristen McLean fell to her death near Barton Creek Greenbelt. The 46-year-old Starflight veteran was hoisting an injured hiker to safety when she suddenly became detached, plunging to the ground. An NTSB investigation later revealed her harness hadn't been properly secured. McLean's crew had arrived around 8:25 p.m. to assist a woman who fell near Barton Hills Drive. As the EC-145 helicopter hovered, the hoist operator noticed unusual spinning and that McLean was lower than expected. At 9:50 p.m., just as she cleared the treetops, she fell, dying instantly on impact. The rescued hiker remained secured and was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. A dedicated athlete and mentor, McLean's legacy lives on through a helipad at Dell Children's Medical Center. Following the accident, Travis County grounded its rescue fleet for a week to review cockpit recordings and hoist footage. A new city, a fresh start. 21-year-old Lorena Barrera had just moved from Nevada to California, eager for new adventures. But on August 19, 2016, that excitement turned tragic. Visiting Point Fermin Park, she climbed over a 3-foot safety railing to snap a photo of the Pacific, balancing in flip-flops on unstable cliffs. One wrong step, and she plummeted 100 feet onto the rocks below. Her friends could only watch in horror. She wasn't the first. Just 12 days earlier, 2 others died at the same spot. Locals warned of the danger, but tourists still gambled for the perfect shot. Firefighters recovered Barrera's body with rope systems, confirming her death was instant. Her loved ones called her vibrant, full of life, a life lost to a moment of risk. And in June 2024, another woman met the same fate. Some views aren't worth the gamble. Some deaths are quick, others are excruciating, but the ones we've explored today, absolutely horrifying. From high-powered machines to freak accidents, these tragedies remind us how unpredictable and brutal fate can be. Which of these stories shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more jaw-dropping cases like these, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You never know what insane stories we'll uncover next. Stay safe out there, because sometimes reality is more terrifying than fiction.